mic on for sure today. That's good. Cam on. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to the stream. I think I'm live. Good morning, Grace. What a day of content yesterday. Pretty much everybody streamed again, I think. If I remember right. Grace did a bunch of polls. She did like, I don't know, 500 polls it seemed like, to see whether or not, to see what level of involvement Ben should have in the show, and that didn't go. I don't know, she kept changing altering the parameters of the poll. But yeah. So it's Saturday. We're just going to watch a chill movie. If we have time, I've got something to watch after, but I don't know for sure that we'll have time. But anyway, it's a Saturday. I only have a couple hours, so let's jump right into it. This is an after-school special from 1987. Since we're watching Memphis 87, I thought an 87 movie would make sense. So let's go. I've never seen this. I just thought it looked funny, and I had an accompanying piece I wanted to show with it. So we'll see. As a lighthearted selection, no, I just thought it seemed like it was interesting. And since we're an hour shorter, like it limits what movies we can watch on Saturday, so I had to find something that was within our time limit. What's up, everyone? Jamie Noble is next. Craig Bierko. I like Craig Bierko, or Burko, however you pronounce it. Didn't he play, oh no, Dean Cain played that guy that killed his wife, but I thought he did too. I thought he played Scott Peterson at some point, or maybe I just thought he looked like him.
Lisa? Lisa?
Huh?
Hi, I was wondering if you wanted to go have dinner with us tonight.
Thanks. I'm busy.
Womp womp.
Isn't that Lisa Kirk?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. This is such an easy setup, right? Jay Underwood was Roach in Uncle Buck. This movie, it looks to me like we've got a pretty simple setup here. This guy can't get laid. He can't get the box. He's upset because the bad boy is getting the girl. So is that what prompts all this? Is this all about getting the box?
Why is she going out with that creep?
Carl?
I don't know, I think he looks kind of cool.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about getting my ear pierced.
Over my dead body.
Just make sure the needle is sterilized.
Terry! Hi. You played very well today. I think you're ready to try for first violin next semester.
That's great, Professor Steinberg. I know I'm ready.
Are you going to play it all this summer?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about trying out some rock and roll.
Very interesting. See you next September.
See ya.
So, where are we going, Maestro?
Hey, the Empire Room?
Oh, that sounds nice and boring.
Not
I'm really
chosen.
not
What's up,
hungry,
Joe?
Louise. I had a late lunch.
I'm tired.
I know, honey. I had no idea it would end this late. Terry, would you mind if we celebrate another time?
I feel like Jay Underwood's one of those guys that was in like so much shit, but like never really became. I mean, obviously he got to some level of fame, but like never really broke through. But he was in like so much stuff. It seemed like.
Mom, I'm leaving in the morning.
Good guy.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe we can have my going away party after I get back.
Good sport, kiddo. Besides,
Why do I keep seeing stories in the news about? I don't really follow a lot of political stuff anymore, but like I keep seeing stories that people are saying he had a botched dick surgery. Is that true?
bet you haven't even started packing.
He went Christian. I think he got rejected by. He kind of won some favor because of the electric car shit with like liberals, and they kind of rejected him because they didn't like his weird shit, and so he just went where like people would where he could get influence. You know what I mean? I think he just went wherever, you know, people were willing to let him get a foot in the door. And of course, now we're depending on how you
Okay,
view it,
Caroline, you go up and
this
get
is
in your
where we're
PJs,
at.
baby. Terry, would you take this upstairs for me and then come back, give me a hand, and you too, Carl?
Tom, this is your publisher. Remember me? The one who's publishing your book on crisis management for the little guy? I'd like to know how to handle a crisis created by a writer who refuses to turn in his manuscript, even though it's a month overdue.
Is this guy from Love Boat?
I'm polishing.
Call me, for Pete's sake. Better yet,
Tom,
just
it's
send
a
the
good
pages.
book. Send it in. They'll polish. That's what they have editors for.
Yes, dear.
Besides, we could use the rest of the advance.
Louise, Professor Cameron here.
Your turn.
Congratulations. I read your paper, my dear. Why Children Go Punk will be the hot seminar of our conference. Robert Rehnquist called me personally to say how much he liked the...
Oh, you're saying Jay Underwood went Christian. I thought you were talking about how Musk like pivoted on religion and politics. So is he like what does he do now though? Is he like a Kevin Sorbo type who's like trying to parlay it into like social media, or is he like Kirk Cameron trying to do like culture war shit? What's he doing now? Or did he just check out?
the topic.
Thank goodness.
Oh, call me when you get in. I want to review a few details. You have my number.
Boy, do I ever. The man is driving me crazy. He is so nervous about this conference, you would think that his job was on the line instead of mine.
Well, he's got a lot riding on it, too.
What? He's already department head.
Louise, this is the biggest conference your university's ever sponsored. If it's successful, it'll be a big feather in his cap. And yours.
Well, right now, it's a real thorn in my side. Terry, the salad is in the fridge. I'll be right back.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about, maybe, changing my look for the summer.
Oh?
Well, yeah, you know, I don't know, just something different, a little funkier, maybe.
School today, Daddy. Isn't it pretty? I was the only one who could spell Mississippi.
Oh, honey.
Carl, come on.
I'll be right there.
That's great.
Hey, Mom. I was thinking, maybe getting a new haircut.
Oh, new haircut
Is he wearing his mom's glasses? What's up?
to go with your new contact lenses? Well, that sounds good.
Well, yeah, in case I get into a band.
Hey,
I mean,
listen
they
up,
got-
everybody. Here's my speech for the Young Men's Republican Club next week. Give me a listen, tell me what you think. Good morning, friends.
Oh no! So he's not getting any box. He's being pushed aside by conservatives. So now he's gonna go punk.
Oh, boy. Haven't seen this thing in a long time.
Yeah, but, I figured I'd have a better shot at getting into a band with a guitar rather than a violin.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll be just a second, okay? Well, I go in with you, kiddo, but,
Christine? I don't know. I don't know that show. Yeah, The Day My Kid Went Punk. Yeah. I needed something kind of on the shorter side because I don't have as much time today.
Yeah, no, it's okay, Dad.
Okay. Call and tell us you got there okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh. You know what? I thought you were talking about a TV show at first. I didn't know you meant like the movie Christine. Although I think there's like a soft core. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a porno. It could be. I think it's soft core though. That's called Christine. That I probably would have thought of before the car movie, which is weird. I was like, this chick wasn't in that porno, was she?
Number 82,
Was she?
Albuquerque and Santa Fe is now boarding at gate 3. All passengers, please proceed to gate 3. Flight number 47 to Johnstown, Liberty, and Cedarhurst has been delayed. Estimated time of departure is now.
My bad. That movie is called Christina, not Christine. Jess Franco's Christina, Princess of Eroticism, 1993, which is also known as Virgin Among the Living Dead.
10 o'clock.
We could get one in here. 87. Have you guys ever seen that movie called The Trump Prophecy about the firefighter who has the visions of he has weird visions of a fire demon, and then he realizes that like his entire life should be dedicated to Donald Trump? It's a pretty strange movie. Fire. Legit. This looks like someone that would run in like IP2, in my opinion. Yeah, actually, I like movies like that. I like propaganda, but I also like just like stuff that's so ridiculous. It's that fire demon. I still crack up thinking about that. And the movie is so serious too. Like it's deadly serious. John Thornton. Did he paint his fingernails? That really gets to Ben and Grace, doesn't it? Or do you think they just latch onto it because it's something to say? It seems like they always bring up the painted fingernails. Hello, fellow punks. This is Aaron M. Sound coming into the Thorpe TV chat after the multi-million-dollar producers sent him in to scout him out.
May I help you, young man?
Yeah, hi. I'm Terry Warner, the new children's counselor. I'm supposed to see Mr. Smiley.
Oh, really? Well, I can't wait to tell him. Have a seat.
Thanks.
Oh, Steve Martin's in this.
Terry Warner's here.
Oh, good. Show him in.
What did his mother tell you about him?
Oh, I don't know, not much. Nice kid, quiet, plays classical violin.
Oh, really? Well, a Ziggy Sputnik lookalike is sitting outside in the lobby waiting for us to hire him as our daycare counselor.
What are you talking about? Who's Ziggy, what's it? Show Warner in here.
Max, we cannot hire this kid to be in charge of our guest children. It'll be a disaster.
What's the matter with you? His mother's school is sending us the biggest conference we've had all year. Hi, Terry. Welcome to...
Hello, Mr. Smiley. I'm pleased to meet you.
Hey, you got a little bit of color in your hair and you're wearing black. Oh my gosh, can we rescind the scholarship?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I forgot about the moose.
Ooh, did you see him washing his hands? That's great.
No, that's okay. This is Phyllis Brooks, hotel manager.
Can't hire a plumber with
we
painted
met.
nails.
Hi.
Well, Terry, why don't you check in and go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Great.
Oh, he's working there.
Thank you, sir.
Max, we cannot put a punker in charge of our nursery. The guests will be up in arms.
Seems like a nice
In
enough
charge?
kid.
We can't put a punk.
Phil, we cannot afford to risk losing this conference. It's been a slow year. I'll tell you what, we'll give him a try. If it doesn't work out, we have a legitimate reason to fire him. I can't understand why his mother never said anything about his looks.
Well, I can.
Hey, kids, take it easy.
Here's where we're gonna get the Trump cameo. He's gonna issue an executive order that no punkers can be allowed to work in nurseries.
Miss Brooks,
Yes?
that can't be the new counselor you promised us.
I'm afraid it is. Oh, no need to be concerned, Mr. Green, Mrs. Rose, Mrs. Saunders. He's a classical violinist, the son of a college professor, and he has the highest references.
He looks dangerous.
I assure you, Mr. Green, he isn't.
Hey, listen, I don't mind punk music. I think they should be able to express themselves, but, you know, let's leave the kids out of it. That's what we're gonna hear. What a weirdo.
If my life will change, or will it stay right here and always be the same? But I feel my time will come.
Huh? I'd be like, you're fired, dude. What a weirdo.
My time is gonna come. My time is gonna come. My time is gonna come. My time, and it will be forever. My time is gonna come. My time is gonna come. My time is gonna.
Like, what exactly is his job at the nursery? They can afford to have someone who just comes in and, like, plays cover music? That's weird. And why did he have to get dressed up like a punk to go to work? Why couldn't he have, like, went to work in regular work clothes and then put on his punk clothes in the evening? It's clearly not, like, a lifestyle choice.
My time
Way to get box.
is gonna really come.
Okay, great. You got the job. All right. Play here every Friday and Saturday nights. Let's take it again from the top. Let's go.
You got the job. He's on a completely different
Yeah!
instrument.
Well, certainly, Dr. Warner. I'll book 7 additional suites for your group.
Thank you. And we may need more.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, like, I don't understand that part. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he... I understand why he wants to put the shit on when he goes to the music things, but, like, just for his everyday life, it's not like he believes it. You know what I mean?
Now remember, Smiley, I want the best of everything. This conference is very important. The chairman of our board is our keynote speaker.
Don't worry, Professor Cameron. Conferences are our business. Everything will be fine, I promise you.
Mr. Smiley, what were you saying about Terry? Is there some problem?
Oh, no. It's just he wasn't exactly what we expected.
Well, I told you he hasn't had that much experience.
Well, no, he's doing fine. In fact, why don't you
Sorry, my sinuses are acting up. I keep sneezing.
talk to him yourself?
I'm not brave like Grace and can sneeze on camera.
Would you transfer this call to Terry Warner's room? Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Mom.
How you doing?
Oh, terrific.
Sure?
Yeah, no, really. Hey, thanks for the 20.
You're welcome, honey. Do you need any more?
No, I'm doing great. Hey, guess what? I got a weekend job with a local band.
Well, that's wonderful. Look, I have to go, but we'll call you on Sunday. You can talk to the whole family.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Grace and Ruby.
3 days of non-stop rain, and we don't have screaming brats tearing through the halls. Gotta give this kid credit.
I know, but he makes me so uncomfortable, Max. He's getting weirder looking every day. You know, I just don't understand why he's doing it.
Oh, me either, but if his parents can put up with him for the whole year, I guess we can take him for one summer.
I suppose.
Besides, it's only a few more days to the conference.
Adam?
Oh, Louise, good. You've got the posters.
Yeah.
Here are the photos Smiley sent me of their suites.
Oh, they look good, don't they?
Oh, I don't trust them. A good 35mm camera lens can make any 2x4 room look like the Taj Mahal.
Adam, the Esplanade Hotel depends on repeat business. I don't think they do that.
Come on, Louise. Don't be naive. Now, I want you to go up there ahead of time. Remember.
Hey, there's no point in arguing over which music is better or worse because we all know that Grace is the best singer. So really, who cares who's in second place?
We want 0 defects on this mission.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now, let's see those posters. You know, Louise, the success of your seminar determines the board's vote on your full
Punk syndrome and how parents can avoid it.
professorship.
I know that, Adam.
Where's the counselor?
Oh, that's me. Can I help you?
You?
Why is he doing? I don't understand it. He's not a punk, right? Nothing that we saw previous to this led us to believe that this would be such a deeply held thing. I don't know why he has to paint his face like he's in the Road Warriors when he goes to work.
That's impossible. No respectable hotel would hire someone like you
The day my kid went punk.
to take care of children. It's outrageous. I'm calling the manager.
Hey, Terry, what's the commotion? What's going on?
Mr. Smiley, well, this lady's come in. She's a little upset.
What's going on is that the nitwits who run this hotel have hired this delinquent to take care of children. But I've just called the manager, and she's on her way.
Well, I can tell you, madam, that I am the owner of this hotel, and that Terry here is no delinquent. In fact, he's worked here all summer, and we've not had one complaint. So if you don't mind, I'll ask you to leave the nursery so that Terry can get started with his day.
I was told this hotel had some class.
He talks to
Obviously,
daycare kids about how there aren't any products anymore.
I was mistaken.
I'm Phyllis Brooks, the manager. Can I help?
I thought I could prevail upon you to hire a proper counselor. Apparently, I cannot.
Who is that woman?
Mrs. Rehnquist.
Robert Rehnquist's wife?
Look at the panda or whatever. King Panda.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, Mr. Smiley.
Demolition.
Hey, thanks for sticking up for me.
If you're really
Bro, why is your face painted like a ghost? What's going on here?
sorry, Terry, scrub your face, wash that guck out of your hair, and try looking like a normal human being.
You look like a human being.
Oh, this hotel is gorgeous. I'm so glad Cameron's desk became a few days early. It's like a real vacation.
I think the nursery's right down here.
Terry will be so surprised.
Terry?
Mom, Dad. I wasn't expecting you until Monday.
What are you doing?
You shouldn't play dress up with the children like this, Terry. It's not a good role model.
Yeah, a clown makeup would be more appropriate.
This is my new image.
Clown makeup.
Well, this is the way I dress now. It's my new look.
What was wrong with the old one?
Didn't go with my new music.
Your music is different, too.
You got any more surprises?
Well, Dad, what? I told you I was playing with a rock band.
I thought you said pop band.
It's the same difference.
You said pop band.
I gotta get back to work now.
All right, we'll discuss this at lunch.
I can't. We're taking the kids to the museum for the day.
Dinner, then.
Usually it was the guys at the club. Look, maybe you'll understand this better if you come out and see our show. We're playing at the alley on Main Street. I'll reserve a table for you.
All right. We'll talk afterwards.
Is his dad gonna get pulled into the mosh pit?
Okay. See.
Like this every Friday and Saturday night. The kids love it.
Well, they can have it. Everyone knows this entire generation will be hearing impaired from this racket they call music.
What?
Let's go. How could he do this to us?
Relax. Without the earring and the makeup, he won't look that bad.
And what do we do with his hair? Get him a wig?
Not a bad idea.
Tom, this is nothing
What?
to joke
Getting
about.
him a wig isn't a bad idea?
My job is on the line. Cameron is going to blow a gasket when he sees Terry, and I will be the laughingstock of the conference.
Louise, please relax, okay? Terry, come in. Good. We were just talking about you.
So, how'd you like the show?
Here it comes.
Well, it's not our kind of music, but obviously you're having some success with it.
Oh, yeah, Dad. The best.
Honey, it's pure unadulterated noise. Now, how can you stand that stuff after playing Mozart and Puccini?
Louise, Terry, why are you doing this?
It's cool, Dad. You know, it works for me.
Well, it doesn't work for me.
It doesn't have to, Mom.
Really?
Tell him, Joan London.
Oh, well, you don't happen to be in the world all by yourself, Terry. You do have a family to consider.
I thought you always said different was okay.
Oh, I knew you'd throw that one up to me someday.
It's like last year. You dyed your hair from brown to yellow. I don't remember a family conference about it. Nobody had a fit either.
Terry, that's hardly the same thing.
Exactly. There was no shock value in what I did with my hair. Don't you know what Professor Cameron is going to say when he sees you?
Yeah, the guys were right.
Look, I just like this new kind of music, brother.
You know, all you care about is what other people think.
I'm tired of playing the violin. You know, girls don't want to talk to me when I play the violin. They want the bad boys playing in the punk band. You know, Grace is gonna go out with a guy that's in a punk band. I can't be playing the violin anymore.
You care about me? You never did.
What? Hold it, son. You know that's not true. All right. We're all a little overtired and overwrought by today's surprises. Let's sleep on it and get together in the morning.
I gotta go to work at 8.
All right, lunch.
Fine with me. I'll see you later, Dad.
sweetheart, listen.
How can you be so calm about this?
Louise, I'm not being calm. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here.
My God.
We've obviously failed him somehow.
Man,
Well, don't
this
start
guy-
that, okay? I'm the psych.
I'm sorry, this guy does not have the energy. This woman is an insatiable vortex of sexuality, and this guy, he just ain't got it.
Psychologist. Terry is the best adjusted of the 3 kids.
Not anymore.
Very funny.
Look, it's a phase. You said so yourself. He'll
Not anymore.
grow out of it.
Before the conference?
It's not very likely.
Well, we'll just have to send him home.
We can't do that. He's got a job. Remember what we taught him about being responsible?
But we can't be seen with him during the conference. We'll have to pretend we don't know him.
Louise, you can't really mean that. Besides, it'll never work.
Well, have you got a better idea?
Yes, Louise, I'll tell you what I tell my clients. The best way to handle a crisis is to face it head on.
True. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, look at this.
Oh, hey, Mr. Smiley.
Listen, it stopped raining, so why don't you bring the kids outside for a change?
Yeah, I am. Going down to the corral.
Hey, I thought that was just for theater days and the makeup.
Yeah, well, it was, but I decided I like it.
Why?
It makes me look cool.
Makes you look awful. Listen, kid, you're a nice kid. Why do you make it so hard for people to see that?
See, you don't understand, Mr. Smiley. I mean, it's like, looking like this, people pay attention. Before nobody even knew I was alive.
He's a war vet.
Gotta be an easier way.
You're Terry Warner, aren't you?
Yeah.
Could you get
his dad's gonna be like, or this guy's gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, you're getting laid off of this? By all means.
into the alley Friday night? We called, but they said it was all full.
Yeah, sure. Just come to the door and ask for me.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later.
All right, okay.
He reminds me of that one influencer on, I think she's a TikTok influencer that always like gets mad at waiters and shit. I think they have like similar facial structure or something.
Hey, but you can't hide behind this mask for the rest of your life. I mean, you gotta let people see the real you sometime.
Well, this is the real me. Just change the wrapping. See you later. Okay. Ride some horses today, huh? Here we go.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Rehnquist. I just can't let Amy ride. It's too dangerous.
But surely you have one horse that's gentle enough for her to ride. We could strap her on.
Well, strapping on is a bad idea. Besides, our insurance company won't allow it, ma'am. Well, maybe in a little while when they all go to lunch, I'll take her around a couple times myself.
Thank you so much. We'll just wait over there.
Okay.
Come on, sweetheart.
See, punks can break the rules in good ways too. He's gonna put something together here, hopefully. And then we viewers can be like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe punks aren't all bad.
Hi, I'm Terry. Do you remember me? You know, there's some special places in the city where the horses know how to handle people who can't use their legs. You could learn to ride real well. I'm sure your mommy here will take you.
Of course. As soon as we get back home, we'll look into it. Thank you, young man.
I don't want to go to a special place. I want to go here with the other kids. I don't want special things in special places. I want to be like everybody else.
You know, that's funny what you said about wanting to be like everybody else. Because I think being like everybody else is really boring. I mean, look at me now. I've gone to a lot of trouble not to look like everyone else. And I love it. I mean, you know, even though a few people like your mom here think I'm a little wacko. Do you like the way I look? You mean it really with the red hair, the makeup, everything? You think adding a little bit of green would be too much there? No.
I think you're beautiful.
I think you're beautiful too.
The mom is like, wait a minute, I can have a transactional relationship with this person that benefits me. Maybe he's not so bad.
I tell you what. You wait here with your mommy, and I'll be back in a little while, okay? Okay.
Unfortunate phrasing, for sure.
So, are you pleased with the attendance at the conference?
Very. I think we'll have close to 300 people from all over the world.
Well, it sounds like your seminar's a sellout, and you've certainly been getting a lot of press coverage with your topic. Do you have any children?
No. Yes, 3.
Oh, man, that's got to sting.
3.
And your husband's a crisis management consultant. Have you ever used any of his techniques?
Not yet.
Hey, Mom.
That
As
double
Joe hit
take.
the water, another geyser of spray whirled to find himself face to face with another gorilla.
Guess what I got in here? See? You're so special, they haven't made a doll that's just like you.
Am I having a stroke? So he left and went and found this very unique doll and then came back? But the place he went to get the doll was also where his mom was being interviewed for the conference?
I'm sorry about the way I carried on the other day, but your appearance really frightened me.
Look, it's okay. Sometimes it frightens me, too. Well, what do you think? Should we go horseback riding?
Terry, I don't understand.
What happened?
I knew you'd be surprised. I just didn't think you'd be ashamed of me.
Well, what did you think we would be? Proud? Did you see the expression on the reporter's face when you said, "Hi, Mom"?
Louise.
Don't you Louise me unless you can tell me
see
how
the
to explain to 300 psychiatrists and psychologists why our son is running around looking like a freak while I'm giving a seminar on the punk syndrome and how parents can avoid it. And you, why now? Why here, huh? You know how important this conference is to me, to my job.
I didn't think of that.
That's right. You didn't think about anyone but yourself.
No, I didn't think it mattered much what I did. I mean, you guys never paid much attention to me anyway.
What are you talking
Struggle
about?
session.
What am I talking about? Dad, do you realize that this is the first time that either of you have spent any time alone with me? Or really cared about anything that I did since I was little?
Terry, how can you say that?
Carl, there's always time for Carl. There's always time for Carolyn. Nobody ever listens to me. You know, I even tried to tell you what I was gonna do, but you just didn't care.
We do care very much.
Son, I had no idea you felt like that.
I gotta get back to work now.
All right, but we'll continue this later. I'm glad you brought this up, Terry. I wish you had before.
Terry, baby, we do love you very much. And I'm sorry if we haven't made that clear.
Oh, boy, he really knocked me for a loop. I had no idea.
But I should have figured it out. It's a typical middle child syndrome. Poor baby.
Yeah, he wanted to get our attention.
He's probably as uncomfortable with the way he looks as we are.
Well, I'm glad we worked that out. I bet he'll wash his face by the time we're ready to go home on Sunday.
Too bad his hair will take a while to grow out.
And it sure takes a lot of guts to face a room full of psychiatrists and psychologists and talk about how parents can avoid the punk syndrome in their teenagers when your own son looks like this.
All the problems are coming back on the mom. The punk, what would he call it? The punk syndrome?
Hey, Mom.
Oh, no.
She'll obviously be speaking from personal experience. Good luck, Dr. Warner. And now back to the studio with Charlene and the weather.
What do I do now?
Use it.
Why is everyone getting so excited?
Oh, come now. Your appearance is outrageous. I'd never allow a child of mine to go around looking like that.
All right, everyone, settle down. Quiet, please.
Boy, Tony.
You told Terry that your parents threw you out.
That's right. I didn't take any drugs or nothing. It still didn't matter.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, well, believe it.
It's just an open panel with a bunch of elderly people arguing with, like, people that look like they're foot soldiers in the Joker's army.
When I came home wearing an earring, my father told me to get out and never come back again. So I left.
And how old are you, Hank?
I'm 21.
And you, Dylan?
14.
No, there's quite a few, like, I'm not going to say great actors, but there's at least a few kind of halfway known people, at least, in this movie.
Yeah, my dad
Ric
would have been a
Flair
lot
for
happier
one.
if I would have been a junkie. At least he could have hid that from the neighbors. That's all they care about. Appearances. It's about other people. It's not about you.
Have you ever tried looking
I'm pretty sure the dad was on Love Boat.
at it from your parents' point of view?
Why should we? They never see anything from our point of view.
But aren't you all going around looking like that just to get a rise out of the rest of us?
No, we're doing it because we like it. And it's nobody else's business but our own how we want to look. I mean, that's true. It's like everyone always tells you don't judge a book by its cover. So why doesn't that go for us, too?
Yeah, and all you guys went around looking weird and passing out flowers.
Hardly the same thing, young man. We preached love and peace. Well, you all stand for cruelty and violence.
Whoa. Wait a second. That's not true. Yeah, okay, maybe some punkers are violent, but so are some bankers and truck drivers. Yeah, it doesn't go for all of us. Why doesn't somebody take the trouble to find out and quit lumping us all together?
Maybe it's because we're afraid of you.
I think that's very true, Dr.
Sit
Warner.
down.
I know I was terrified of the thought of Terry taking care of our child, but then something happened which forced me to get to know him, and I'm very glad. I think he's a pretty terrific kid.
I think so, too. Now, I would like to thank everyone, especially our participants, for joining us today. I had originally hoped to
What, a 60-second panel?
show parents how to keep their kids from turning punk. What I learned is that it's more important to find out why they're doing it.
It was a brilliant panel, Louise. Have you seen today's papers? They love Terry and his friends. We're the toast of the trade press.
Great.
Oh, Dr. Warner, I just wanted to show you a photograph of my son, Matthew, when he was 19.
Man, look who they got to
That's
come out
about
here.
3 years
Lieutenant Frank Drebin.
ago.
Oh, dear.
Well, he's the same young man. He's now 22 and a banker.
Oh, that's marvelous.
Ruby would be cool in this movie.
Congratulations.
Well,
This woman, think of how these people would react if Ruby was just unleashed in that banquet hall.
some kids never change, but I just wanted to assure you there's always hope.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But I'm sure that by next week, Terry will be back playing the violin with his school orchestra.
Well, I hope so. By the way, congratulations on an excellent seminar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, thank you for all your help, my dear. We couldn't have done it without you.
Are we back? Well, I don't know. Now I'm in the yellow. Now I'm in the green. Are we back? Okay, what about now? I think we're good. I think we're good. We're in the green. We're holding in the green. All right, let's go.
Done it without you. Rehnquist is ecstatic. By next month, you'll be a full professor. Nice to see you, Tom.
Oh, thanks, Adam.
Dr. Warner, I want to thank you for the most
water.
successful conference of our whole summer season.
And although I never thought I'd say this, for one of the best counselors we've ever had. You know, your son's really wonderful with children.
Oh, yes, he's welcome here anytime.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Maybe next time we can get a photo of him in advance so we know what to expect.
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary. We had a long talk
Why don't
with
we get a
Terry
photo
after the
of you,
panel,
then?
and I think we've worked it all out.
In fact, we think he's upstairs washing that junk out of his hair right now.
Really?
Mom, Dad. Sorry I'm late. I was just down saying goodbye to the band. But I'm ready to go, and you are.
You
Oh,
don't
what a
intend to
fool.
drive home in that getup, do you?
Dad, look, I thought we had this out last night. This is the way I'm gonna dress now.
See you later.
They will never let you into school like that, Terry.
Mom, come on, take a look around. They're happy we show up at all.
By the way, most of the copies of this movie on YouTube end a minute early, so you miss the ending, and it cuts to a random like a minute of a heavy metal video. So I kept looking through them until I found one that was complete. So I think we should be able to see all of it here.
Ugh, perfectly gross.
Stop that, Caroline.
You know, I don't think I can hold my food down if I have to look at that every morning.
That's enough now.
No, really, Dad. Hey, it's okay. I mean, before nobody even knew I was at the breakfast table.
Struggle session.
Oh, for the love of... This place has become like a war zone.
Now, what's wrong with him?
He's just trying to get our attention.
He's got it.
What are you, a bleeding
He
heart
told
liberal
us
now?
that we treat him like he's invisible
You were a
around here.
young Republican.
That we don't listen to him, that we don't care.
I think he's right. We don't pay any attention to Terry. He's always been just kind of there.
Ah, Mr. Warner, I see you've acquired a new look over the summer.
How do you like it?
If you were a peacock, all the hens would probably be running after you.
So I'll take this as a compliment.
You'll be playing first viola, you'll be playing first cello this semester.
Professor Steinberg, you didn't assign me a position today.
Uh-oh.
I know that.
Well, why not?
Are you by any chance planning to change the way you look in the near future?
Wow.
No.
Then you can't be a member of this orchestra.
But you said I could play first violin this year.
Not in this getup.
Well, why not?
Oh, it's an interesting look. But an orchestra is a team, and you're a distraction.
Yes, but years ago, man, they played in white wigs and white stockings.
But today, we are playing in dark suits and short hair, and may I add, only the women wear makeup.
You're not being fair.
Terry, you're a bright boy. You know we can't have an audience distracted by a bizarre-looking young musician when they should be concentrating on the wondrous strains of a Bach cantata. Don't look so glum, my friend. The choice is up to you. If you choose to come back, all it will take is a bar of soap for your face.
Yeah, I like those glasses. Those are pretty badass.
And a half a haircut. Or else, you can invite me to one of your gigs. I'm sure you're terrific.
I want to see Ruby wear a pair of them.
Well, you know, we're a lot more
Kinda
tolerant in our
vibe.
music
It's like
scene.
big,
I mean,
like,
I could be up
clunky
there
glasses.
playing with a tuxedo and regular hair. Nobody's going to tell me I didn't fit in.
Well, you're kidding. You'd probably accessorize with army boots, and your tux would be 2 sizes too big.
Probably true.
Terry, good luck. Whatever you decide to do.
Hey, Professor.
I thought I did, but I got up and checked a minute, just a second ago, and I didn't see him.
Thank you.
He's not gonna let you play, is he? It's not fair. I mean, you ought to be able to project any image that you want to the world.
You know, I think he's the first person that's telling me I really can. But I can't expect to have it all. Gotta make some choices.
Put the sunglasses on after the last sentences of Walk On.
Yeah.
Can I come in?
With a suit jacket? I've got quite a few suit jackets.
What do you want?
Well, we had a talk this morning after you left. And, Terry, you're right. We haven't been paying much attention to you. But it wasn't intentional, and it's not going to happen anymore.
Really?
Yeah, really. And you know, you haven't helped.
What do you mean?
Well, you always gave in to what we wanted. You never took a stand for yourself.
You might be right.
And we do care. We're just not mind readers. So if you had said something a little sooner, maybe you wouldn't have to go to such drastic extremes.
Sorry, Craig Bierko looking kind of goofy in this movie a little bit. Here's one of my suit coats. This is like a ringmaster type grotto wear, maybe.
Carl, it wasn't such drastic extremes. I mean, all I did was I changed my hair and I changed my music, you know, my look. It's not like I really flipped out on everybody.
That's debatable. Have you looked in the mirror lately? All right, look, I'm sorry. We just want you to know that we're sorry if we made you feel bad. Terry, you're my brother. And I love you. Colored hair and all.
Yeah, it's kind of like a smoking jacket, but it has like a, I don't know if you can see the pattern on it or not. It was just one of those things going on at the time, and these are kind of like amplify whatever it is. So like when the after school special about the Satanic Panic has like ritual sacrifices and shit, and it's really over the top crazy. It seems like they're trying to be like not super crushing, but like there's not a lot of other than him like doing a few nice things, which everyone's overlooking. I don't think like the movie's really done much for him. I'll show you the jacket I wear if I went and met up with the Jedi. I'll be right back. Here's the Jedi jacket. I don't know if you can see it as well.
If he goes back to classical violin, he can go to school.
He wants to play the violin. I think that's what this is
He'll
all
be a
about.
lot more famous or richer if he stays with Rock.
Well, not everything can be measured in dollars.
This scene is fantastic. This is like, I saw a clip of this, which is what made me, a clip of this came up in the algorithm, which is what made me want to show it on here.
Until he finishes college, it doesn't matter anyway.
A classical violinist
How does it matter? First he's got to finish college.
Hold it. It's nice that you're all interested in what I should be doing, but I think I was better off before when nobody paid attention to me.
What do you mean by that?
What's
What's
it
it
supposed
supposed to mean?
I'm just kidding. Look, I love that you all care, but it's my life, and I've got to make my own choices.
We're just trying to give you the benefit of our input.
I know that, Dad, and I do.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
The more out of touch, the better.
But I've done a lot of thinking, and I know that I have to make my decisions not because I want to please you or because I want your attention, but because they're right for me. So for now, I'm gonna stick to playing rock.
Oh.
I hope that's okay with you. You know, Professor Steinberg, he says I can come back and join the orchestra anytime I want.
Right here, I think, is where most of the videos end, and it just goes into some random guy playing the guitar.
What? And I figured it'll be a lot easier to pick up the violin later than to try to be a rock star at age 50.
Well, I don't know if I can listen to that music for another 30 years, but if it makes you happy.
Okay. I love you, sweetheart, and I will try to get used to it.
And I'll make it a little easier, too. I've decided to cut out the makeup. I don't need it.
Good. Then maybe you'll realize that your natural hair color is more attractive, and a regular haircut would be much better.
Dad, don't push your luck.
See, here's a dad telling his son that he's more attractive now that he has a different hairstyle and isn't wearing as much makeup.
That's right, Tom. At least it's a start.
So that's what Hollywood told us, right? That's what they told, that's what Hollywood said was going on. And by the way, I do have a Dare shirt on underneath of my jacket. That's what Hollywood told us was going on. But what really was happening during this punk rock scare, right? That's what we're going to find out next. We've got a Fox undercover report from Los Angeles in 1995 about the punk epidemic.
What the old generation was. Tonight, Chris Blatchford begins a Fox undercover investigation into this underground world and the message it's sending out. Chris.
Well, it is a message that has hit the mainstream, and perhaps we should all be listening. That same anger and frustration very clearly raised its head this summer during a concert in San Bernardino County, a concert that could be considered a microcosm of what punk has become.
Here in what is called the pit, tense-looking punks and skinheads circle. The hostility is building.
Who's outnumbered here? Not the punkers today.
Punk rock bands prime and sometimes taunt the crowd.
You guys are weak. What's up, man? Come on, you guys.
Skinheads, mohawked scalps, and punk-dyed hairdos mixed with fresh-faced teenagers. It's the punk generation.
It's about being able to say what you don't like about society, what you like about life.
More than 20 punk rock bands are on the bill. An estimated 11,000 punk fans in the crowd, the largest ever in Southern California.
It's not about going against society. It's not about anything. It's just about having fun.
Imagine how good this jacket would look if I had on that bubblegum pink Lull Angels hat. I'm going to get that hat. I want that hat.
That's it. That's all everyone comes out here to.
I want the hat. That's all I'm saying.
But here in the pit, during a breakout.
This report in a nutshell. Look at these weirdos. Then it's perfect for Fusion Studios. That's one of our favorite types of entertainment. It's what this show is. It's look at this weirdo.
Dancing, it is a peculiar form.
Look at this
of fun.
weirdo looking at weirdos.
You gotta get hurt. You gotta get hurt to have fun. Hurt somebody else.
For many here, that is the drill. Add to this a sweltering 100-degree temperature with concession stands selling $6 beers, $3 Cokes, and $2 cups of water.
It's going to turn to your right, I think.
By mid-afternoon, an angry row of middle fingers point toward the sky.
An angry row of middle fingers.
A defiant dab of saliva finds a convenient target. Both gestures showing the screw you attitude embraced by so many punks.
Screw you attitude.
The bands want you to give you the attitude that you're giving them. That's what they want.
A punk singer spits toward the crowd. Some spit back. In between, a row of pump private security guards line the stage.
You spit on a security guard, you're gonna get a pop in the face, probably.
Some sheriff's deputies huddle nearby.
Yeah, they look like they're taking it
The stage
seriously.
barricade gets a mean shaking.
Did you see that guy fantasizing about gunning down all these people at the concert? He was like...
The crowd gets its first warning.
If you guys bust the barricade, they will shut the show down.
Bodies
better-
are
mods,
lifted
can
over
we get the
punk fan
pit under
heads
control?
in a concert ritual called crowd surfing. Older punks and young ones overflow into the security area. The scene gets crazier as the day goes on. The pit pounding to the music.
It's an adrenaline rush. It's great. It's their sound. It's aggression. You gotta get it out.
Crowd surfers flood over the barricade. Part of the game, a familiar one at punk concerts, is to get on stage and leap off into the crowd. It's called stage diving. Staff Pro security guards have been hired to stop it.
The reason we don't want them on stage is because they jump back off. And I think probably 90% of the injuries at festival seating concerts are caused by people jumping off the stage into the audience.
Dale Earnhardt.
You jump on top of people's heads. We're a couple broken necks away from this type of music not touring anymore.
Tension heightens between Staff Pro and punks, and a band called Guttermouth baits the security force.
Let's all tell the security what we think of them. Get some real jobs.
A steady stream of punk.
I think the only like punk shows I went to would have been in like the mid 90s, probably around this time, and it was just like all local people. I never went to like I went to a bunch of like big metal concerts and rock concerts, but I saw the Spice Girls one time, but I don't think I ever saw like went to a show where like a punk band was like the main attraction.
Spill over the barricade. Some rush the stage. The Guttermouth lead singer eggs them on.
Mods, ban anyone name calling, calling people, saying everyone in the chat is a dork.
Can make it up here. There are many brawls as the security dam begins to break. Punks trickle onto the stage through a swarm of security. Some caught and slammed to the floor.
This is nuts.
There is now a full-scale battle for the stage. The fun turns to fright for some as the spit and fists continue to fly. There is
I think this is a cool atmosphere here.
total chaos. The game now gets security, and word comes to shut down the concert. The band breaks down.
I saw them during the original. They've had like a huge U.S. tour plan, and something happened, I think, and it got cut back to just a few dates. But I went to one of those shows when it was like the original lineup.
And the punkers break into a chant. Angry punks start throwing metal storm sewer grates on stage. To cheers from the crowd and a massive assault on the stage barricade.
This looks like a Lord of the Rings scene.
Security guards are forced to retreat. And as the metal grates continue to fly, another band member steps in and pleads for calm.
Hey, everybody calm down, man.
A few stage divers continue to play to the crowd as members of a band called Face to Face argue to go on.
Face.
Meanwhile, Guttermouth's lead singer is taken to a police van and arrested for inciting a riot.
Oh my God,
Fire
really?
hose ready to use on the crowd is put away. And a half hour after the riot,
People are always like, oh man, too bad we can't go back to the 90s when everything was peaceful and calm and there weren't any kind of problems and people knew how to behave themselves.
punk music wails again. Crowd surfers and the barricade back in place. Security out of sight. But it doesn't last long.
Ruby will message me on Discord for the address for the hat. You did all the goddamn work here. You want a finder's fee? Oh boy. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Face to Face I'm pretty sure I've heard them, but I can't think off the top of my head because I'm really stoned what music they play. I would look amazing in that bubblegum hat, for real though, Joe.
Minutes later, the crowd rushes the stage.
The bud tenders at the dispensary would lose it. They'd be like, what's Low Angels?
A promoter unloads a fire extinguisher to try and scare them all off. When the concert ends 4 hours early, in a ball of smoke.
It was just unbelievable. There was so much that was going on, there was no way to
Ended in a
control
ball of
everything.
smoke.
In the end, security blamed the bands for baiting the crowd.
It showed the lead singer really controls the crowd and not the security.
And punks blamed...
Well, remember the... I watched the documentary not too long ago about the like Woodstock 2 or whatever on Netflix, and that was really eye-opening. I remembered some of how it went, but not all. I didn't know all the shit that was in that documentary.
Security for overreacting.
You just start stopping people for no reason.
The bald truth about many punk concerts probably lays here.
It is intense because there's a lot of people, but this is usually how they end. They always end up in violence.
And if a punk concert does not end in violence, even the most dedicated punk rocker admits there is always at least one fight. Some note the same could be said of a Raiders game. But clearly there is a punk rock dynamic that begs for an explosion. Tomorrow, a look at the ingredients to punk chaos.
Man, that is a wild scene.
Pretty wild.
All right, we'll see you
In
tomorrow.
America, every generation has a right to be stupid. All right, thanks a lot, Chris.
Joining us now for an inside look at some of that steam in the second part of his series called Punk Invasion. Chris?
Well, the punk movement revels in anger and a rejection of the norm. But wrapped up in that package, there is a mixed bag of different skinhead groups, punks, and regular-looking teenagers. All that can be quite confusing.
So how's everybody doing rock and roll all right?
The punk rock band here on stage is appropriately called the Vandals.
I think there's something wrong with
the
every single
Vandals,
person
nice.
here, including me.
In the audience here at the Blockbuster Pavilion in Devore, there are thousands of punks, skinheads, and straight-looking kids. Punk music brought them all here.
The music, man. It's like the 60s, but it's the 90s.
But in a wide scope of different kinds of punk rock fans, there is constant tension.
I went to another Vandal show and 2 people got stabbed. It was pretty cool.
You ain't taking no job.
And here at the edge of the concert, a white supremacist with a white pride tattoo is attacked by a punk rocker, who afterwards breaks loose from sheriff's deputies
There he
and
goes.
takes off running. When deputies later catch up with him, there is a rush from the anti-cop crowd.
Start breaking the sprinkler heads off.
Metal sprinkler heads become missiles. Deputies become the targets.
Oh my God, this
Anything
is
handy
nuts.
becomes a weapon as the simmering mob moves forward. A makeshift spear is launched aimlessly towards the deputies. Deputies who eventually use pepper spray to subdue who they believe are the instigators of this mini riot. At least 4 are
I wonder if Vegan Pate... Well, no, I don't think she's old enough to have been involved in this. I was going to say maybe she got started here and then worked her way up to January 6th.
arrested. The crowd goes back to the concert. Each punk fan part of the weave in an odd quilt of clashing groups.
Punkers suck. I'm not a punker. I'm conservative.
White power. Here in Lancaster, these are
Oh, of
racist
course,
Nazi
Lancaster.
skinheads, a group the public most readily associates with punk rock music.
Neo-Nazi skinheads. It's straight up white power defending our
Skinhead,
Aryan
dog.
race. You know what else is supposed to do?
In contrast,
Skinhead
this
dog.
group called Sharps, Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice, say you are supposed to live in unity with all other races of people.
Basically, it's just we're trying to clear that skinheads, all skinheads aren't racist, and the original skinheads weren't racist either.
So at punk concerts like this one in Lancaster, the music often stops and the fights begin when non-racist Sharps meet Nazis on the
Sharps.
slam dance floor. A
There's an
non-racist
insider
skinhead from
term,
the San
Sharps.
Gabriel Valley
San Gabriel Valley.
explains it this way.
And there's like Nazis, they always pick on innocent people, so we represent the little people. Yeah, we represent the little people of the scene and beat up the Nazis for everyone.
But here at this Hollywood club called Natural Fudge, where a sign on the wall
The only cop I trust is Charles Bronson, and he would definitely plant evidence, and did many times. But I still would trust him.
Reads slam dancing at your own risk.
Hey,
Some
Randy.
even see flaws in the non-racist skinhead approach.
The deal with those guys is they want to get their message across, and now they're using violence because they're sick of all the violence that the skinheads have been using. So people are getting fed up.
Among
I'd
them
take the
are
mic away
members
from
of
that
this
guy.
punk band called Rational Response, who belong to another skinhead faction called Straight Edge.
What is straight? It's just not doing drugs
Straight Edge, CM Punk.
and not having sex. It's just being good, you know.
Here in the foothills of the Santa Clarita Valley, unlike this group, Straight Edge skins frown on violent slam dancing.
I got straight edge. I got straight edge. No beer in my hands, you notice that?
And surrounded by teenagers trying to tap enjoyment from a beer keg.
Drinking right here, baby!
Or inhale it from a marijuana pipe.
They have no idea what's going on. Just remember what I said earlier.
Straight Edge skins pass out lyrics to a song called
Did Charles Bronson ever play a cop? Oh, yeah. In that 10 to Midnight, he played like a really, his typical like old school hard-nosed cop, but it was in a world where things were changing and like he just could not catch this killer because the guy kept getting naked and then he would murder people naked. So like there was no blood evidence on his clothes or whatever, or, you know, anything on his clothes, and he couldn't catch the guy. So finally he just planted the evidence. But then in the end, I think he like admitted it.
Crutch decrying the evils of drugs and booze.
You can be their friends and stuff. I just don't like their lifestyle, you know? And
You think it's impossible to be violent on weed? I don't know about that. He was in those, he made, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but there were 3 made-for-TV movies called, it was Family of Cops, and then 2 and 3. He was a policeman in those. Those were actually pretty deep. Like, if you're a Bronson fan, those are pretty decent, like, kind of last gasp movies from him.
then they're all, oh, I smoked a bowl last night and stuff. I just want to
Rest
slap
in
them and go
peace.
wake up, you know? Grow up.
Take it easy, guys! And at this concert in Irvine,
Uh-oh. Tito
Orange
Ortiz.
County skinheads surround a hardcore punk. Upset about an incident in the mosh pit.
You guys gotta behave yourselves like good punk rockers.
A fight that fizzles as quickly as it began illustrates ongoing tension between some skinheads and punks. At this club in Hollywood, where a wall-size American flag proudly hangs above the bandstand, those who call themselves traditional skinheads and tend to be more right-wing boast that they are working
Okay,
class
so
patriots.
these are the patriotic conservative punks.
Well, I believe this is the land of the free, and I'm the brave, and I'm going to defend this until the day I die.
An attitude not shared by many punks.
Here's Ruby.
Who, with their colorful hairdos, body piercing, and mohawks,
Controlled by government!
can sing a more left-wing tune like this all-female punk band called Snapper.
It's not like
Red Snapper,
anti-government,
that's
like,
Ruby.
you know, get a bunch of guns and fight the government or anything. It's just a dream about everyone working together and about the politicians not having all the money in the world so they can do what they want, you know.
Tell him, Susan.
And alongside punks and skinheads, there are straight-looking punks, even long hairs.
Punk scene's cool, you know. I've been into it for years, you know.
Yeah, hold on. I have something to say here. Punk rock is not about long hair, all right?
The
Wow,
punk
she was
scene
really serious.
picture is not always crystal clear.
That was a nice little promo. Let me tell you something right now. Being punk, nothing to do with long hair, okay? Nothing to do with it.
Everybody has a different view on punk. I think punk is about everybody's different view on things.
And it can be very confusing. But with the pit as its symbol, it does seem clear that a certain youthful rage runs throughout the entire punk scene.
It's anarchy!
And many punks use that word anarchy to define that rage. It is a theme that pokes through the punk movement as sharply as a nose ring. And we'll have that story tomorrow.
And I'll say it again. And how anger drives many of the youth tied to the
Can't wait for part 3.
punk rock world.
Tonight in his continuing series called Punk Invasion, Chris Blatchford reports on the rage that runs through this movement. Chris.
Well, many punks say it is a social movement dedicated to anarchy. They boast a disregard for authority and a do-whatever-you-want attitude.
Hell yeah.
And social movement or not, it all too often comes off just plain mad.
Meet a young man, Benjamin Thorpe, who's trying to change all that. He's trying to bring all these punk rockers into the church. Oh, dude, Bronson's got a deep catalog.
A typical underground gathering of punk rockers. Most here affiliated with an anti-Nazi group of punks who call themselves the Mental Squad.
What's up?
Some are skinheads, some are not.
Someone torched that thing.
And about 24 of them much of the time hang out here in Uptown Whittier.
What? Why are you trying to kiss me for?
Tonight, there is trouble. The Rejects, teenage female enforcers for the Mentals,
Let's go.
are angry at a 15-year-old runaway who was flirting with their guys. But it is the flirt's friend who gets involved that ends up taking the beating. It is ugly. The victim, bruised and shaken,
Damn,
is
bro.
left in a fetal position on the sidewalk. Her attackers don't even know her name.
Jesus.
But the Mentals' 15-year-old Melanie gets punk admiration for a job well done.
I thought it was cool. It's a punk rock world. You gotta survive out there.
And the fight illustrates a hair-trigger anger that runs through much of the punk movement.
She stood up. She's actually and fucking had a socker in the face.
But for many punk rockers, the anger plays...
Just to be clear, we're not glorifying this violence. We're watching it for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research.
Out here in the pit. The music and lyrics often as rough as the action. Casper plays in a band called Teenage Rage.
This is a generation that gets a lot of rage, and this is where we come to let it all out. All at one time, we let the rage out in the pit.
But ultimately, it seems that rage...
When I said let's fucking go, what I meant was let's fucking go, criticize, comment, research, analyze. I was not glorifying girl-on-girl violence despite showing a women in prison movie trailer yesterday.
Spills outside the pit, here in Long Beach, which started out as a fundraiser for the baby of a punk who recently died of an aneurysm.
The party's over.
Eventually brings some uninvited guests.
They're hanging outside, causing problems, leaving a mess.
Police say the punks have no permit for a band, and illegal drinking has moved outside. The police delegation is not well received. And the pit gets wilder as police slowly begin walking people out. And at one point, rebellious punks lock the cops out. The attitude is familiar even to punks who weren't there.
Just doing whatever the you want, not caring about what anyone says about you or nothing, dude. Just saying it. Self authority.
Back in Long Beach.
Let's go. Come on, break it up.
The resistant crowd is finally dispersed without a major incident.
It ain't over till there's no government left.
But here in Highland Park, the punk spirit is peaking.
Now these are the people that are like clamoring for censorship and everything.
At a place called the Anarchy Center, fans make it clear the punk movement is not all about music and beer.
There's deep social involvement. We're a political group. We advocate anarchism and free thought.
Well, his parents named him Punk Anarchist. What did they think was how did they think he was gonna turn out?
Here, a punk band called Naked Aggression plays to a racially mixed crowd of punks, skinheads, and straight-looking teens. as they struggle in the pit under the banner of anarchy.
The message is there are lots of things that are wrong with the society that we're living in, that people need to give serious thought to changing, and that this is the way we feel.
And trying to just make the world a better place by rejecting all of the materialistic values that are shoved down our throat from the time we're born.
Listen, we don't need this materialism. Now hold on, I have to go buy some more t-shirts and records.
And that, says one anarchist, is what punk music is saying to the youth of America. This punk gathering is eventually shut down by police.
I said, bartender, 4 more beers!
But other punks and punk bands at an ever-increasing rate are seeming to pop up and even fall down without any burning social philosophy
Oh, that was a fun video.
at all.
A lot of Americans like to drink beer.
Some not lost King footage, but otherwise like unavailable King footage at the moment anyway.
A lot of Americans like to drink beer, and that's what we stand for. Beer drinking.
And it is clear the punk movement message can be a little fuzzy.
Really, we're about screwing up the government.
No, we're not. We're about having fun. We don't stand for really anything.
Oh my God.
Oh, and with props and gimmicks and body piercings
Gimmicks.
and language that will force your mother out of the room.
Gimmick.
A lot of punk is just pure shock value in the name of entertainment. And we'll have that story tomorrow.
Shocking? No, not at all, Chris. We'll see you tomorrow.
Say they are a social movement dedicated to anarchy.
But in his series, The Punk Invasion, Chris Blatcher reports it can be something altogether different. Chris, explain that.
Well, for some, punk spells out their own brand of fun. And at the root of the amusement is plenty of beer, shock value, and just plain old entertainment.
My name is Rocket, and I'm Rebel Rebel's #1 groupie. Rebel Rebel rules.
Cigarette.
This guy has a talent for
Give me that cigarette. Damn it. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Boy, look
putting
at this.
cigarettes out.
Is that Jake Roberts behind it?
I do not do drugs. I am schizophrenic.
And it's all a punk put-on by a band called Rebel Rebel.
The undisputed heavyweight punk rock champions of the world.
They throw things and smash.
You think he's protesting too much and he's actually he's in the closet punk?
Things up.
We're not new.
But Rebel Rebel sets things on fire and throws raw meat at the crowd.
We're not original.
Rebel Rebel just makes a big mess.
We're exciting. That's all that matters, you know?
Punk rockers Rebel Rebel are not only here to rock, but to shock.
We're going to destroy this stage, and then we're going to destroy the rest of America.
In line
We're going to destroy the stage, and then we're going to destroy the rest of America.
with punk, dark, irreverent humor, but disavowing any lofty punk rock ideals, Rebel Rebel says it's just all entertainment.
Everybody's going to make money. We can have too much money. Everybody.
This is just old, to me, this is just like old school A-logging. You kind of have to be interested in the topic or you wouldn't take it so personally that you would like, because this is like, we're at like part 4, I think, on this. So he really put some time into this. So like I think he definitely isn't like a complete hater.
Everybody wants it, but a lot of people won't admit it.
So
Death
Rebel
toilet.
Rebel hopes to shock and sing their way into punk fame and fortune.
You meet the people, you get adulation.
The fame and fortune part, a departure from hardcore punk philosophy.
You know, may not have
Get
mouths
away.
big enough.
A punk philosophy that clings to the underground antisocial attitude.
By my appearance, by the way I live, I define myself as separate from
Look at me,
society.
The movie Death Toilet, by the way, if you haven't seen it, is really good. It's like a movie about like a guy that has like post-traumatic stress disorder from being in the military, and his toilet gets possessed by a demon, and the demon starts like manifesting these Vietnam flashbacks. It's a really weird movie, but it's really entertaining.
Separate. But there is no question, punks constantly use shock value that seems to cry for attention. Complete with rings in noses and eyebrows, jeweled tongues, and outlandish hairdos.
Painted fingernails.
Shock value is always a go-to card for the punk movement.
I haven't seen Amityville Death Toilet, but I've seen the original Death Toilet. I don't think I've seen any of the sequels, though. But for some reason, people that see that Death Toilet review always send me want me to review whatever their independent movie is. So maybe they thought I really was fair to Death Toilet.
This is what happens when you drink lots of beer. Before, after, before, after, before, after.
Go, 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 go!
And along with shock, beer flows down the gullet of the punk movement. So prevalent, this band called Drain Bramage draws a following singing songs about beer. They make no apologies.
Drain Bramage is all about drinking beer and having fun. No violence.
Drink yourself Drain Bramage to be big and fat
Hey, what's up, King?
and ugly.
You don't drink beer. Drain Bramage, attention! At ease!
And this punk band called Blue Gun, here in Hollywood, runs through a series of bizarre-looking numbers, feeding the audience a TV set to stop 1 minute and giving them a little fake blood the next. Lead singer Bob Oates says it's all in fun.
It's about having fun, making a lot of noise, getting people riled up, try to get a little action going in the crowd. We don't want to bore anybody. We don't want to put anybody to sleep.
But at what
Ruska
price comes the fun? Here in Riverside, an elementary school-age kid is held up before the crowd.
What do you think of school? F you!
Wow.
The message to a young boy at best is arguably not a good one. Shockingly punk. At worst, before this group of younger punk fans in Riverside, it could be called shameful.
It's time for anarchy, dude.
Oh, you're taking a family trip to the Monkey?
To reign supreme.
For the band called Humble Gods, the rationalization is one that runs deep and constant through the punk movement.
It's just all about pure anarchy. And no rules. Create your own rules. We make up rules.
Man, Vanilla Ice was so much cooler back then. Vocalist.
As we go. Make up rules as we go. Anything can happen and will happen at a Humble God show.
And almost anything does happen at punk rock performances. Here,
Man, if this dude went to a Gwar concert, he would lose his fucking mind.
a band called Vitamin L unloads a crate of cabbage on the fan. Some toss it back.
Oh, her first horror movie? Wow, that's a big landmark, King.
And when it's over, the stage looks like a giant salad bar. And when the Vandals perform a number entitled, I Have a Date, there are actually takers in the crowd when this band member acts out the title of his song. And he actually connects. The young candidate selected becomes part of the show, getting more than she bargained.
Have you guys ever seen Gwar or know what their concerts are like? I don't know what they're like now, but way back in the day, they used to be a complete mess, and there'd be you'd have fake blood and fake fluids all over you by the end of the night if you were up in the front area. I went to see him a bunch of times, and I always thought it was real. I always thought it was fun. I never understood why anybody would get offended by it, because it's so goofy and over the top that I can't imagine people would think it was actually summoning demons or doing something evil.
For. And so do those who come to see the Aquabats, who with their campy swimwear, poor man's Olympic torch, and other ridiculous props are...
Horrific, man.
And then there are the parkas, painted faces, sparkly hairnets, buxom blondes, and
hello.
You get the picture. And so does this punk rocker.
It's tongue in the cheek about the world we live in. It's tongue in the cheek.
But the tongue is not the body part most identified with the punk movement. The mohawk or the bald head is probably more of the trademark. Tomorrow, we will focus on those skinheads who say they are misunderstood. Who many blame for the violence in the punk movement.
All right, you'll explain that misunderstanding tomorrow?
And there's a vicious rumor going around that John is going to be shaving his head.
Oh, no, he's not.
Stand by for
Thanks,
that.
Chris. We'll see you
All right,
tomorrow.
Chris.
What up? Get
Well,
the
the
lead prosecutor of The Simpsons.
Chris Blatchford takes a closer look at one punk faction that is always controversial. Chris?
And that group is the skinheads. Even inside the punk scene, many blame the skins for most of the trouble. And many of the skinheads
Skins,
claim
he loves
they are
this
just
shit, dude. He's having the time of his life. He's loving talking about, like, using all the terminology. You know what I mean? Getting into the lingo.
Misunderstood.
He's picking up women at the bar and be like, yeah, you know, I've been doing a lot of undercover work, hanging out with, you know, the skins, hanging out with the anarchists. You know, I do crowd surf, and I don't want to brag, but I do know my way around the pit.
The skinheads are chanting their approval. The next song is entitled The Chosen One.
Jeff Jarrett? Just in case.
The name of the punk rock band on stage is the Toughskins. As they play, skinheads, some arm in arm, slam dance in the pit below. Another
Slam
dives
dancing.
off the stage and is carried away by fellow skins. Bald heads bob to
He's
the...
a weekend punk, Randy, like those guys who have Harleys, but they only ride them like, you know, they're just like a weekend excursion. He's like a weekend punk.
Punk rock music. It is Skinhead Night here at this Hollywood club on the Sunset Strip.
Skinhead Night, everybody.
And tattooed shoulders bang against each other in the...
Not really violent, because, I mean, if you look at everybody, it's like everybody's cooperating. You fall down, they pick you up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's aggression, yeah.
It's just aggressive.
Yeah.
And near the end of the concert, that aggression explodes.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Varlins. Get him, big boy. Oh, man, they're trying to take down the Giant.
Two battling skinheads go into a clinch.
It's gonna take all of them to work together to get the big man out of this one.
Across the floor. Before they are pulled apart by security and other skinheads. But it's not over yet.
Yeah, hey everybody, let's go. Anybody want to go to listen to some live music tonight? It's Skinhead Night.
And no one seems surprised.
If you're a skinhead, aggression and violence just comes along with the book.
Popcorn,
You
come
expect
on.
it.
Back here at the club,
Popcorn was a bad dude.
As angry skinheads continue to scuffle with each other, a guy with long hair makes contact with one of the skinheads. This is trouble. Other skinheads turn on the long hair immediately.
Oh no.
When he breaks loose from the herd of skins and heads for the door,
Hey, long hair!
he is blindsided by skinhead Knuckles. And when he hits the floor, is swarmed by bald heads and bare fists.
Swarmed by bald heads and bare fists. Chuck Norris in.
His crime?
He pushed that guy, and it was just...
Hardcore skins.
You know, he was just in the wrong place.
If he's not a skinhead, you're just gonna hit him.
He wasn't a skinhead, really, you know?
He wasn't a skinhead. And if you don't have any respect for somebody, why would you try not to hit him?
Meanwhile, out of the sight of our camera, the long hair slips out with bruises
The
and
long
a battered
hair.
ego.
I love how he's A-logging them as if he's watching a nature documentary.
But this Carson skinhead who appeared to throw the first blows of the evening, and his original target, a skinhead from a group called Hooligans, are still going at it. It's a common sight.
Ever since, I guess, the skinhead cult started, they've been fighting, you know, with each other.
This one
Take him to court.
ends with a skinhead embrace.
Skinhead embrace. But that sounds like a really shitty weed strain. Be like, hey, can I get an eighth of skinhead embrace?
Skinhead anger continues to simmer until the end.
Take it outside, everybody. Take it outside.
It's 1995. I don't know for sure. My weed brain wants me to think 99 on that, but I could be wrong.
Good night.
Sheriff's deputies arrive to make sure that everyone heads for home.
It's all fun and games. We've been at shows that where 50 people have been fighting at a time. It's just intense, and then the cops come, and then people fighting cops. It's just it's fun.
But even within the punk movement, many punkers say this.
I would watch a movie where a Chuck Norris or Steven Seagal type guy fought a giant gang of a syndicate cartel of punks.
Skins can get under your skin.
The only real violence you get is from the skinheads.
The center of action at every punk concert is the pit. And at the center of most pits are hardcore skinheads.
The Nazi skinheads and people like that are, going to be out there to cause trouble and fight whoever they can and, rule the pit. Boneheads. Yeah, they're just a bunch of idiots.
But skinheads are quick to point out most of them are not Nazis. They say they are patriots, and they are quick to defend themselves.
Skinheads aren't bad people.
Oh, we're to the patriotic punks again.
This is a traditional skinhead band named Revolt. They come from an anti-Nazi skin group called The Family, and insist they don't come to concerts looking for trouble.
Yeah, but that was a kind of a variety pack of inner city bad guys. I want specifically and exclusively punks. We could get Robert Bronzy, that guy that looks exactly like him, to be in it. We'll have to add it to the list of the if I win the lottery.
They are just working class youth ready to stand up for themselves.
Foggy Dottie.
A lot of people will disrespect, a skin in a certain way, or and then they'll just get beat up for it.
But other punk fans say there is no excuse for skinhead violence, and are troubled by the fact when you see a fight break out, you don't have to look long to spot a skinhead in the middle of it.
They got no need to fight.
Oh,
Punk,
boy.
man, there ain't no skins going on, dude. Racism is up. Fucks everything up for everyone else.
But skinheads say, in general, it is really only the Zig Heiling Nazi skinheads that are out to hurt people. And skinhead punk bands like Authority, who include a black guitarist, stress racism is not what all skins are about.
Yeah, he did.
Being white power and being a skinhead is a
to a ridiculous degree, he wiped them out.
total different thing. Whatever. If they're racist, that's got nothing to do with being a skinhead.
But candid skinheads admit some of their groups are gang-like, love to rough it up in the pit, drink to get drunk, and even fight. And if other punks don't like it,
To hell with them.
To hell with them.
Several large LA area skinhead groups last January launched a truce to bring peace back to the mosh pit after a rash of...
Are you sure you're not thinking of Clubber Lang? I'm not falling in that trap again, ATF media, even though I've taken more time to address it than if I had just answered it.
beatings and shootings. Skins tell us the level of violence today is not as bad as it used to be. And interestingly enough, many skins say one reason they are so quick to fight is because they feel oppressed by society.
Quite a movement there when you think of the punks, too, that you profile all week long.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, the factions, you talk about one faction and you offend another one because there's so many. There is really, there's unified thought in certain areas, but everybody else has a little different view of what punk is.
Thanks for the inside look. We'll see you, Chris.
Thanks.
Wow, I mean that was pretty interesting. I gotta go though. I'm like super blazed. I gotta take off, but I appreciate you hanging out and helping me learn about punk culture in the 80s and 90s. I appreciate it. I'll be back on Monday. I think we'll do an intoxicated women stream. That could be fun. Anyway, I'll see you later though. I appreciate it.